Hello students, welcome to our new lecture. Today we will start polity session. So in the polity we will discuss emergency provision in India. Emergency is very important topic for all the government exams, whether we are preparing for SSC, railways or any one day government exams. So in this lecture, we will discuss about the types of emergency, how we can proclaim emergency, how we can evoke the emergency, what are the major types and criteria to evoke emergency, and how many times we faced emergency. So let's start our today's topic, emergency provision in India. If we are talking about polity, the articles play an important role in polity. We have to remember major articles in polity. So if we are talking about emergency, emergency is declared or discussed in Article 350 to 360 in Indian Constitution. So Article 352 to Article 360 explain about the emergency provision in India. Okay, as we all know that during when our constitution was made, or when cabinet mission proposed constitution assembly, so we borrow, we obtain constitutional provision from different sources or different countries provision. So we borrow emergency provision from Germany constitution. So Article 350 to 360 explain about emergency provision in India, and in which country we borrow emergency provision from Germany constitution itself. Okay, so here are three major important articles. Article 352 which explain national emergency, Article 356 which explain emergency in a state, which we said presidential rule, or we can say this is constitutional emergency, and Article 360 explain about financial emergency. So in our constitution from Article 352 to 360 there are majorly three types of emergency. First is national emergency, which is explained in Article 352. Second is emergency in a state, or we can say presidential rule or state emergency, and third one is financial emergency, which is explained in Article 360. So we have to read one by one. First we have to understand what is national emergency, what is the purpose of national emergency, then we will learn about the presidential rule in a state, and then we will discuss laterly financial emergency in this section. So here all is clear. Article 352 to 360 emergency provision, where we borrow emergency from Germany constitution. Three majorly article explain about three types of emergency in India. National emergency in Article 352, presidential rule in Article 356, and financial emergency in Article 360. Okay, so let's start to our next slide. First we will discuss national emergency. As we read, national emergency is explained in Article 352, but some clauses of national emergencies are explained in Article 358 and Article 359. So Article 358 and Article 359 is also important for national emergency, or also related to national emergency only. So what does Article 358 says? Okay, simply Article 358 says if we want to, if in any case India faces national emergency, then fundamental right of Article 19 will be suspended first. So what happening during emergency? If national emergency is proclaimed in India, then we have fundamental rights from Article 12 to Article 35. So Article 12 to 35 explain about our six type of fundamental rights. But during national emergency, Article 358 says that we will suspend our fundamental right, especially which fundamental right? Article 19, which provide us six type of freedom. So suspended fundamental right under Article 19 for the complete duration of emergency or national emergency. So it says that Article 350, according to Article 358, during national emergency, Article 19 will be suspended completely. Article 58 is enforced all over India, means if national emergency is proclaimed and we are suspending Article 19, that's mean that this Article 19 is suspended the citizen of all over India, not a particular location. Article 358 enable the state to form any law or take any executive action inconsistent with fundamental right under Article 19. Also, Article 358 provide the power to state make any law or take any action to enforce this Article 19 consequently. So Article 358 is very simple and clear that if national emergency is proclaimed in India, then our fundamental right Article 19 will be suspended firstly. And what is Article 19? Article 19 explain about six types of freedom. Clear? Okay, Article 350 is enforced all over India. All over India it will be enforced, and Article 358 also enable or also make give power to the state government or state legislature to make law related to Article 19 during emergency. What is Article 359? Okay, as I told you, we have six fundamental rights from Article 12 to Article 35. We will discuss all the fundamental rights in next segment or next topic called fundamental right. Here you have to understand this. We have six fundamental rights from Article 12 to 35. In Article 358, we have discussed this that Article 19 will be suspended. Then what about rest fundamental rights? So according to Article 359, President has power, he can suspend it rest fundamental right except Article 19. So firstly, Article 19 will be suspended or rest fundamental right will be suspended by the President if President found that it is much needed to suspended fundamental rights except Article 20 and 21. So national emergency, Article 358 says Article 19 will be suspended during national emergency. Article 359 says that except Article 20 and 21. 20 article detention against arrest and 21 detention against crime and 21 is right to life and liberty. So 359 says except Article 20 and 21, rest fundamental right will be suspended by President if it needed. Clear? During war, to give power to the President where the fundamental right can be suspended during war, external aggression, armed rebellion, financial crisis and more except Article 20 and 21. So firstly, Article 19 will be suspended directly and Article 20 and 21 will never be suspended in any case, or rest fundamental right will depend on President. He may suspend or may not suspend. Clear? So Article 358 and 359. So under Article 352, if President is satisfied that there exists a grave situation where the security of the country is threatened on the ground of wars, external aggression and armed rebellion, he can proclaim to that effect. Okay, what does Article 352 says? Article 352 says that if there is three situation in India, first is war, second is external aggression, and third is armed rebellion. Only if there is three situation in India, first is war, second is external aggression and third is armed rebellion, then only President can proclaim national emergency in India. So national emergency will be proclaimed only in three situation: war, attack and armed rebellion. War, as we know, if the forces of two countries fought with each other, this is known as war. External aggression, if any terrorist activity will be happening, that this will count as external aggression. Or armed rebellion, if people start rebellion against government with with weapons, or if our three forces, Indian Army, Indian Navy, and Indian Air Force, rebelled with each other. In these three situations, president can proclaimed emergency. So, according to Article 352, only three situations required for national emergency. A part of these situation, national emergency will not be proclaimed. Okay, emergency can be declared over the complete territory of India or any part thereof. So, if emergency will be declared during three situations, that it will be declared complete territory of India or any part therefore. President can declare emergency on the written advice of cabinet. Okay, so what will happening? Let's begin with the starting. Article 352 says, during war, external aggression and armed rebellion, president can proclaim emergency. What is the criteria to proclaim emergency? Okay, special majority is required to approve an emergency resolution. Means emergency bill can be introduced either of the house, either Lok Sabha or either Rajya Sabha. If any MP or group of MPs found that there is the situation of war, external aggression or armed rebellion, whether this MP belongs to Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, they can initiate the bill for emergency. Let's suppose if bill is started in Lok Sabha, then it will be passed by Lok Sabha by a special majority. Special majority means 2/3, at least 2/3 members has to sign on it. Then this bill sent to the another house, Rajya Sabha, and Rajya Sabha's MP have to sign, or in Rajya Sabha also special majority required. So bill can start either of the house, either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Then bill will be passed by a special majority, or special majority is required to approve an emergency resolution. Then the cabinet ministry has to advise president in written form that we need national emergency. It is also an important aspect. So first bill will be passed by both the houses for special special majority is required for both the houses. Then cabinet has to advise president in written form. Once approved, if this process will be completed, that emergency is passed by both the houses and cabinet advice, then emergency shall operate for a maximum period of not more than 6 months, but can extended for unlimited times. Mean, if the bill is passed and cabinet advise president, then president can declare emergency for maximum 6 times, but for unlimited time. What that's mean? It's mean if bill once passed, that emergency will continue for 6 months. Then again parliament can pass the resolution with a special majority, then can extend for next 6 months, and so on for unlimited time. So every time parliament can pass a bill and the emergency is proclaimed for, or emergency is imposed for 6 months, then after 6 months they can also pass the bill by special majority, then can also start also emergency can be extended for 6 months. So 6 months then can extend for the unlimited time. Okay, Lok Sabha has the power to disapprove the operation of national emergency. Basically, if there is any fault, then Lok Sabha has power to disapprove the bill, or Lok Sabha has the power to disapprove the operation of national emergency at any time if not less than 1/10 member of Lok Sabha in written to the speaker. If house is in session, or to the president, then speaker or president, as the case may be, shall convene a special session of Lok Sabha within 14 days, and if such a resolution is passed, president shall revoke national emergency. Okay, listen. We have proclaimed emergency by passing the majority of special and advice of cabinet. Now, how we can evoke emergency? First, we required at least 1 by 10 members. Lok Sabha has presently 543 members. So we required at least 454 members to pass any resolution in Lok Sabha. If there is less than 1 by 10 members in Lok Sabha, then Speaker of Lok Sabha or President can invite a special session within 14 days. Okay, if we have less majority in Lok Sabha. Let's suppose karo Lok Sabha has 52 members only. Then president or speaker has power. They can invite a special session in Lok Sabha and the time duration will be maximum 14 days. So within 14 days a special session will be conducted, and during a special session a resolution is passed and president can revoke national emergency. So the criteria is president can evoke the national emergency, but what is the procedure? At least 1 by 10 members required in Lok Sabha. If not present, then speaker and president have power. They can invite a special session within 14 days, and in this special session a resolution is passed, and then president can evoke national emergency. Clear? So what we have discussed till now: emergency provision in India, article 352 to 360. We borrow emergency provision from Germany constitution. According to article 352, national emergency can be proclaimed in India. According to article 356, emergency in state can be proclaimed in India, or we can say this is presidential rule or constitutional emergency. Or according to article 360, financial emergency can be proclaimed. Before going to article 352, we discussed article 358 and 359. Article 358 says that during national emergency, article 19 will be suspended, which explain about six types of freedom in Indian constitution. This is our fundamental right, and article 358 is enforced all over India. Article 359 give power to president rest except article 20 and 21, and article 19 we have suspended according to article 358. So article 359 says except article 20 and 21, all fundamental right can be suspended by the president if required. Then article 352 says that if there is war, external aggression or armed rebellion, in three conditions we can proclaim national emergency. To proclaim national emergency, special majority is required in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and then cabinet advice is required in written form. Once emergency is proclaimed, then continue for 6 months, then parliament again extended for 6 months, and so on, then extended for unlimited times. If we want to remove financial emergency, if we want to remove national emergency, we required at least 1 by 10 members of Lok Sabha. If not present, then president and speaker have power. They can invite a special session within 14 days and pass the resolution. Then president can evoke national emergency. Okay, here are some amendments related to national emergencies which are very important. So next we will discuss amendments. There are three amendments known as Amendment 38, which was passed in 1975, 42nd Amendment, which was passed in 1976, and 44th Amendment, which was passed in 1978. Okay, what does Amendment 38 said? Okay, the Constitutional Amendment 38 was passed on 1975. It empowered president to proclaim national emergency on different grounds, even though an emergency is already under operational. Means if there is an emergency due to war, then president can again impose emergency on the ground of external aggression or armed revolt. So it empowered president to proclaim national emergency on different grounds. Means uh, 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 if I'm talking about today, if today president declare national emergency on the ground of armed rebellion, after 6 months or 7 months, a war started between India and X country. So our constitutional amendment 338 said that president can impose emergency again on the ground of war. What does article 40 amendment 42 says? 42nd amendment, this is known as mini constitution. This is the amendment which was passed during the national emergency of Indira Gandhi. Actually, in 1975, Indira Gandhi declared national emergency on the ground of internal disturbance. So that and the emergency evoked on March 1977. So 1975 to 77, the emergency was proclaimed on the ground of internal disturbance. So during national emergency, this 42nd constitutional amendment was done in 1976. So 42nd amendment says that it empowered president to modify or vary national emergency. Under the original constitution only the imposition or revocation were possible. मतलब president modify or vary national emergencies. Under the original constitution only the imposition or revocations were possible. And the second clause says under the original constitution, it is explaining about modify or vary national emergency. Under the original constitution, it said there's under the original constitution, president could have imposed national emergency only over complete territory of India. If the matter is related to original constitution, then national emergency can only impose all over territory of India. Okay, last slide we discussed that complete territory of India or any part therefore. The national emergency can be proclaimed in the complete territory of India or any part of Indian constitution, but 42nd amendment 1976 said that during original constitution president could have imposed national emergency only over complete territory of India. This amendment enabled him over a part of the country. Okay. Next, 44th constitutional amendment. Actually, when Indira Gandhi imposed emergency in 1975 and laterly the emergency was evoked in 1977. In 1978, there was major election conducted and Janata Party won these elections and Morarji Desai became Prime Minister of India. So, majorly changes were done in emergency during 44th constitutional amendment. It was enacted to prevent the misuse of emergency power by the executive. So this amendment is done to enact to prevent the misuse of emergency power by the executive like Indira Gandhi. Clear? So there are three amendments related to national emergency. First is 38th Constitutional Amendment Act 1975, which explained that president to proclaim national emergency on different ground. 42nd amendment explain about original constitution that president could have imposed national emergency only over complete territory of India. And 44th constitutional amendment was done to prevent the misuse of emergency power by the executive. Okay, what are the major effect of national emergency in India? What will happen if national emergency is proclaimed in India? So in this slide we will discuss about the effect of national emergency. The effect of national emergency. The first major effect is on executive. We are talking about executive and legislature in this video, and next video we will discuss about judiciary and all over the country. If we are talking about on executive effect, state government are not dismissed, they continue to operate but are brought under the effective control of the center. Means we have federal system, means federal system means the division of power. State government have on power and central government have on power. In federalism we have a strong center, we are not divided power equally. If we proclaim national emergency, state government will not be dismissed, but he will work under effective control of central government. Means all major decisions will be taken by the central government. State government will work but as a dominion type of center, which assume the power to give instruction to state government which shall abide by such direction. Central government will give direction to the state government and state government have to abide these directions. The executive, central government and state government, if we are talking about, all the power shifted to central government, but state government will not be dismissed. State government have to work according to central government directions. On legislature, state legislature means Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad continue to operate and legislate, but parliament assume concurrent legislative power on state subjects. What that's mean? It's mean in if when we will discuss about schedule 7 in our constitution, there are 12 schedules. 7 schedule explain about 3 types of list. First is the state list, which explain what are the state works. Second list is concurrent list, which explain the work related to center and state government both. And third one is central list. On this list the work included there are, I think, total 61 work which will done by only central governments. So in schedule 7 the works are divided between state, central government and concurrent list, means both the government will work together. So legislature continue to operate and legislate, but parliament assume concurrent legislature power on a state subject. Means parliament will work on a state subject. A state government will not make any law related to a state subject. And a law such enacted by parliament, and these laws are enacted by parliament, not a state legislature, shall cease to operate all the expiry of 6 months after the revocation of national emergency to the extent of incompetency. This means these laws will be ceased to operate at the expiry of 6 months after the revocation of national emergency to the extent of incompetency. Clear? So these are the executive and legislature effect of the national emergency. Hope you like this video. Thank you.